Okay, this is a video. I'm going to try and talk loud. I know this thing has sort of a crappy microphone. I'm just putting a video. A couple guys were asking about the kind of how I play the bass drum paddle. So, obviously, there's a bunch of different ways to play it. Ultimately, it's sort of down to that sort of trite saying whatever's comfortable for you. But a good way to practice patterns, I always think at first, is to do a heel down, that type of thing. And for lighter playing, and I don't play heel down very well because I'm just not used to doing it. But you have a lot more control, especially at softer dynamics with heel down. You know what I mean? So anyway, let me just tell you. So I would recommend, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, or you'd rather always do 5 or 10 minutes a day than 3 hours on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So what I actually really did used to do is back in the day I had a blue Octopus kit, Ludwig, which was kind of a cool kit. I'm sorry I ever sold it. Anyway, but anyway, I did have, I got the kit and it did come with two, I think they were Speed Kings, and I would just go back and forth and do singles, boom, 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 and then paradiddles, doop, 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 just to kind of, I don't think that really did at all improve my bass drum playing as much as maybe it helped my coordination with my left foot, maybe keeping eighth notes on the hi-hat at parts. But in any case, so what it'll always boil down to is, because you want your foot always, it kind of boils down to when guys talk about practicing with sticks, or girls, people talk about practicing with sticks on a pillow and then practicing on a pad or a drum. Obviously you get more rebound on a drum or a pad, and that's what make buzz rolls and stuff, and it helps with technique. But it's the same thing with sticks on a pillow, where you really want your your hands as much as you can to have. You really have total control over your hands when you do play on a pillow, and you use your wrists. You know what I mean? Your wrists. I mean, a lot of guys might be able to go fast. Excuse me, paradiddle with sticks, but I mean, if you ask them to do it with their hands like this, like, I mean, they might not be able to do it. They might, if you can get one side of relying too much on rebound. Anyway, the point I make with the pedal is if you do practice with your heel down, you do get more control of your whole right lower appendage, your leg. I know guys think this sounds crazy, but like your neural passages, or whatever the hell the things are that connect your brain to the, your muscles and stuff in your foot. If you really practice, let's say like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1 and da 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 da. If you do practice that with, you are totally sort of making your whole foot smart, in the sense that it becomes, and in other words, I guess what I'm saying is I would recommend in being able to control, so like, maybe it's always, if you can't, in other words, if you have sort of a fast foot but without a lot of control, let's put it this way, if you can't be like with just your foot flat, then you should work on that, because it will, sort of like in stick control, and they talk about play it really hard and super soft, because you want your limbs, your muscle memory, to become familiar with the whole, at any dynamic, become familiar with the pattern, or like in karate, like the katas or whatever the hell we did, briefly, until the black belt beat the shit out of me. But in any case, do you know what I mean? So if you have problems with control, practice this, like, with a foot down, because it does come in with, it's very useful in jazz and lighter dynamics. I don't really play jazz, but like I said, it's sort of like with the pillow and sticks. If you can really achieve fast speed and control using a pillow which has no rebound, it's the same thing with this. If you can achieve some speed and control with your foot this way, you will have better control over the notes and the time and and then you can move for more volume and stuff. What I do is you see me in the videos, my foot stays about here. It's not like this, It's definitely not down. It's up. But look at my, I don't know if you can see this. But see how my foot sort of, imagine you're, and so a lot of guys will be like this, like their whole leg goes up and down. Like, I don't know if you can see, but my whole knee is going up and down. Now here though, when I usually play, my knee goes up a teeny bit. Let's see. Like that. But it's not like a lot of guys are like that. But just a little bit like this. But what it all boils down to, let me make sure I have the proper angle. Stand by, let me move this back. Okay. Do you see how, imagine sort of tapping down with your foot. So you'll see my heel might be an inch and a half, inch and a quarter off the ground. But you see this? So it's sort of like if I had my hand here. It's kind of like tap, tap, tap. So it's not like tap, tap. It's just there's an actual movement like this. See that? So it's like doot, doot, like a hinge sort of. Now a lot of guys will play heel up. I mean, there's all like they do stuff like this, or they. It's hard to do with this pedal. It's a Speed King I actually bought on eBay, which is modified. Somebody put a plate on it. But the other party here is not there. But in any case, so some guys go like. See how I did? Like they get like it's a flat foot down, and then when you come back, you get another one. I mean that stuff is all cool, especially with really fast 16ths on a double bass. But what I do, let me pull this up so you see my foot a little more, is just see how I rest it like this, and I rely. It's my foot. So if you can, it might be not a bad idea just to practice. Lift your foot up low and go da 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 da. I mean, I have sort of a nervous way about me anyway, but it really is in literally your this. Okay. So, and I'm not gonna. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. What I would recommend for bass drum would be if you were gonna devote time actually to just working on your bass drum, practice patterns. And I think if you can score one of those things, or you can build one, a thing that you can like watch TV or whatever, do just sit down. You don't have to do the bass drum, but there's like little pads that you can attach your pedal to. Just practice with just like this, like dun 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 dun. Not necessarily a pattern, but just sit there and give yourself quarter notes, and then speed it up, and then maybe do like a pattern like dun 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 dun. Because what'll have just slower though. Like you want to make sure you want to kind of wring out any nervous, any like and then once you get sort of control that way, then you can bring it up this way because it really is ultimately it is the same effect. My foot is going up and down, but it is at a locked position here. So I guess it is sort of the same, but I am just moving my foot sort of like instead of being down, picking it up a little, and then still doing the same thing further and harder, I guess would be a good way to say it. So that's what I do. My foot is really sort of on the hinge. Actually, my foot, now that I think about it, I guess is doing this. It's just that I do sort of lift the whole foot up and then continue to do that, but this way you get more of a... And what will start to happen is... I didn't adjust the spring of this one. That's another thing, too, someone asked about. You definitely want to make sure you adjust the spring to your comfort.